Two foreigners killed in Jamaica. Meanwhile, Jamaica's For Justice asks Prime Minister to rein in Horace Chang police policy to shoot and kill. As the mayhem continues, 11 persons killed within 24 hours. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice said that Prime Minister Andrew Holness should rein in National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang for repeating his shoot-to-kill comment. Speaking at Alaska Jamaica Constabulary Force Saluting Our Heroes Award ceremony held in New Kingston on Friday, Dr. Chang urged police officers to defend themselves when they are confronted by armed thugs. Dr. Chang added that the only time the gunmen should have left is the time it takes to do the post-mortem. Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, said Dr. Chang's comment is unbecoming for the office that he holds, adding that it also goes against the JCF's use of force policy. She explained that while police officers should defend themselves against attacks by criminals, they should respond with reasonable force. She warned police officers could be in trouble with the law for using excessive force. Last year, Dr. Chang had urged members of the security force to shoot to kill when challenged by gunmen, noting that the country was spending too much to treat criminals at public health facilities. Meanwhile, opposition leader and People's National Party President Mark Golding is blasting the Andrew Holness-led government for granting the recent fare increase to public transport operators. The 35% increase will be applied in two phases, with 19% being made effective since Sunday, October 15, and a further 16% will take effect in April of 2024 of next year. He said while the increase was needed to support the earnings of public transport operators, the government could have undertaken several other measures to cushion the impact rather than allowing citizens to bear the brunt of the hike. A sixth-form student of Magotty High School in St. Elizabeth is arguing that some children's lack of compliance with the dress and grooming policy could be a cry for help. Kevina Rose said that the rebellion from children stems from deeper issues in their homes and communities. As a result, she is urging the Ministry of Education to create intervention for these students. And parents who allow students to dress like vagabonds leaving their home, going to school, also need psychiatric evaluation as well as those giving them dunce bags to take to school. More on the Beaches Stout murder trial. The convicted contract killer in the murder of Portland businesswoman Tonya McDonald on Monday testified that he wanted to tell the woman about the plot to kill her but found it hard. According to the man, it was easier to make love to her than to tell her about the murder plot. Denvelin Minot, otherwise called Bubla, who previously testified that he had a sexual relationship with the now deceased, told the court he had daily conversations with the woman about where they would link up or ends out. Minot claimed he and Tonya would often meet at the pier during her lunch period. Pressed by defense attorney Christopher Townsend, Minot said, "I take her to my house enough times and I tried to tell her, but it did not work out." Mr. Townsend asks, after speaking to her every day, only one time you tried to tell her that? Minot agreed with Townsend's suggestion that the words couldn't come out. Tonya's husband, Everton Beaches Stout McDonald, and his co-accused Oscar Barnes are on trial for the murder of the 32-year-old businesswoman. Minot, who is serving 19 years in prison for his role in the murder, testified that Beaches Stout had contracted him in 2020 to kill Tonya for a fee of $3 million, but that he subcontracted the job to Oscar Barnes. He also accepted that it was equally wrong to have hired someone to kill Tonya and to make repeated attempts to murder her. The witness previously testified that he had lured Tonya to her death and watched as Barnes stabbed her repeatedly. The woman's partially burnt body was found along a deserted road in Sherwood Forest in Portland on July 20 of 2020. When you hear the government say that crime is down, just laugh and humor them because all they're doing is just lying. 11 men and 1 woman was killed in less than 24 hours between Sunday and Monday. And here is about 2 of those stories. A man is dead and his girlfriend wounded following a gun attack in exchange in Ocho St. Anne early yesterday morning. The deceased is 45-year-old Terrence Williams of Prosper Hall Exchange and a supervisor at the Total Service gas station in the area. Mr. Williams' 36-year-old girlfriend has been admitted to hospital. And it's reported that about 12:10, Mr. Williams was driving with his girlfriend and daughter on the Prospect Hall main road when a man in a black hoodie and a face mask opened fire at their car. Mr. Williams and his girlfriend were hit while his stepdaughter escaped serious injuries. The gunmen then escaped on foot. The police found Mr. Williams slumped over the steering wheel of the car, which had crashed into a wall. He was later pronounced dead and his girlfriend taken to hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, two brothers were shot, one fatally, along the Ricketts River main road in Frumin, Westmoreland on Sunday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as 64-year-old Cleveland Hamilton, otherwise called Baya, of Ontario, Canada, who had been visiting the community. Reports are that about 3:55 p.m., both brothers were standing along the roadway when a white motorcycle with two men aboard traveling from the Georges Plain direction drove up and stopped. The pillion rider disembarked the motorcycle, brandished a firearm, and then opened gunfire, hitting both men. Hamilton ran across the road in a bid to escape, but was chased by the gunmen, who continued firing at him. The now deceased then fell to the ground. The men then proceeded to rob Hamilton of an undetermined sum of money and a gold chain before fleeing on the motorcycle towards the Georges Plain direction. The other brother was transported to the hospital by relatives, where he was admitted in a serious condition, whilst Hamilton was pronounced dead on arrival. A 55-year-old U.S. resident was stabbed to death and her 35-year-old son taken into police custody following an incident on Wavell Avenue in St. Andrew yesterday morning as well. The dead woman has been identified as Marvel Johnson from Northwest 30th Street in Lauderdale in Florida. A knife believed to be the murder weapon has been seized by the authorities. The suspect is said to be a mason from Red Hills Road, and it's reported that about 7:20 a.m., Johnson, who returned to the island recently from the U.S., went to Wavell Avenue to look for relatives and treat her son. While the now deceased was inside one of the bedrooms, it is alleged that she was attacked with a knife and stabbed multiple times all over her body. Relatives who reportedly heard her crying for help went to her assistance and pulled the suspect away before calling the police. Johnson was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital, where she was pronounced dead while undergoing treatment. The son was detained following that incident. On to sports. Defending champions Mount Pleasant are happy with their season-opening 1-0 win over Portmore United in the second game of a doubleheader at Draxall on Sunday as the Jamaica Premier League got underway. Gawain Austin, who made the switch from Portmore United in the off-season, scored the only goal of the game in the 25th minute to start Mount Pleasant title defense in style. And in the first game of the doubleheader, newly promoted Limehall Academy of St. Anne and former winners Montego Bay United played out a 0-0 draw in a game wherein both teams had good scoring chances. And in the other game, Tivoli Gardens had a 3-0 win over Waterhouse in their opening game on Sunday, and in the fourth match, Humble Lions edged newcomer Treasure Beach of St. Elizabeth 1-0. On to DaCosta Cup. DaCosta Cup's second round continues today with 3 matches in the home and away. Stets, who won the first game 1-0, will play Irwin, while Glenmore, who were 3-0 winners, should find it a lot easier at home against Morant Bay. Paul Bogo, who lost to BB Coke 2-0, should stand a chance to reverse the score playing at home, while Manning Cup's second round will kick off tomorrow with 8 games. And don't forget that the best Manning Cup and DaCosta Cup reports takes place on this here radio station. And if you ever miss the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.